everyone. Today I want to give you 15 short conversations between two people. The conversation 1. The man wanted to know if they weren't supposed to meet Miss Nakamura at the gate. The woman disagreed with him. She says at baggage claim. The man was surprised by that. He thought they would better go over there right then. Conversation 2. The man asked if the woman was okay, and he wanted to know if her back was bothering she again. The woman agreed with him. She says it hurt a lot, and that was second time that month. The man suggested making an appointment to see her doctor. Conversation 3. The man suggested passing the contract to Singapore. The woman replied to him, it had already done and she has fasted that morning. The man agreed with him. He says he was on his way to the airport then and saw she the day after. Conversation 4. The woman said to the man, she has spoken to Miss Canhan a few minutes before. Miss Canhan has said the negotiation was going very well. The man replied to her. That were good news. He wanted to know when Miss Canhan would be back in town. The woman agreed with him. Miss Canhan says he would be back in the office on Thursday. Conversation 5. The woman said to the man, Ryan's actress. She suggested helping him. The man agreed with her. His name was James Aston. He says he was calling about the job as a mechanic. He wanted to know if that position was still available. The woman agreed with him. She says they were still accepting applications. She suggested waiting for her while she connected he to personal. Conversation 6. The man one said to the man 2, he would like to register for the Adventist was professing class. The second man agreed with him. He said the first class began on the 30th of that month, and there had another on the 13th of the month after. He asked which he would like. The first man suggested checking his calendar for a moment. Conversation 7. The man said to the woman he was not sure he liked that clause about when the work must be completed. However, he generally called discussing those specific days. The woman was surprised by that. She suggested having a look at it, and she thought that was what they had agreed to. The man agreed with her. He thought they should talk to them before signing. Conversation 8. The woman wanted to know if Miss Cat wasn't supposed to be in that day. The man agreed with her. However, Miss Cat wouldn't be there until the day after. He explained his flight had got delayed because of snow. The woman agreed with him. She says he had heard about that awful storm on the news. Conversation 9. The man once suggested having Miss Carey retirement party in the conference room. The mentor said he didn't think it wouldn't hurt everyone even if they moved down the huge table and all the chairs. The man one agreed with him. He says he would call a few restaurants. Conversation 10. The first man complained his wife was getting upset with him. She says she hardly saw him anymore. The second man replied to him. His wife felt the same way, he thought. He had stayed late to check the inventory before the holiday season began. The first man agreed with him. He hoped they got it done soon. Conversation 11. The woman wanted to know where he thought they would take Mr. and Mrs. Fujimori while they were in town to sign the contract. The man complained they would be too tired to do anything their first night there. However, the second night he thought they could lie in jazz fantasy. The woman agreed with him. She says, besides great meal, the show was terrific. She thought she would call and find out what time was the show going on. Conversation 12. The woman once suggested seeing Mr. Curtis. The woman too was afraid that would be possible. She thought he had took another position and he had been gone for about 3 weeks. The woman one agreed. She asked who she should say instead. Conversation 13. The man said to the woman he was afraid there would be a wait about 45 minutes. He says they always tell customers to reserve the table in advance. The woman was surprised by that. She didn't think they could wait that long. She complained they were starving. She suggested recommending somewhere else. The man commented she might try the little place around the corner. Conversation 14. The man suggested working more efficiently. He says it considered the shelves was low on folders, staplers, computer paper, printers, and secretarial pads, among other things. He thought those shelves needed to be stocked more regularly. The man agreed with him. He said he would make sure to speak to them. However, we would be happy because that was having very good. The man agreed with him. However, he wouldn't stay that way if customers wouldn't find that way wanted. The last conversation. The man thought they had going to get somebody to reply. Because then that Parker was retired. The woman complained profits hadn't been good blamed. She explained there were hiring freeze. She thought they would just have to help do the work that Parker used to do. The man complained that was terrible, so 3 of us had to do the work of 4. He wondered how long that could go on. Thank you for your listening and goodbye.